And we are back with the Battle of the Bubble, the second game for both of these two teams. We got Purdue University, #1 from ECAC, and we have UT Austin, #5 from the Southern Regional Conference. Going head-to-head here in this game, we've got a very interesting draft from the side of the Longhorns. They've got the ASOL top with a Ruby Crystal start, Ferris and DBZ taking you guys all through this game, and I don't even know what to expect. I don't even know what analysis to bring to this topside matchup here, Darnell, because I didn't think Saigo was this type of player. I thought they were just the weak side player, the Tom Kenches, the Orns, and all that stuff.
I don't really like it, but apparently we saw apparently it was an Navia top that was played, so that was kind of fun. Steve is gonna be the annoying do the classic, hit you with the shotgun knees, flip you forward, and that is kind of what concerns me is when Uragot gets to a point when they are unfunningly ahead. Yes, unfunningly, I'm making that word up right now. When they are ahead, it is not fun to be a squishy member. As ASOL will have the advantage and the range advantage for a little bit, but once that black cleaver and maybe one other item is done, I think Steve will no longer be afraid of this ASOL. It will just be an absolute menace. Like right now, just zoning him off of CS, but I would argue that it's going in favor of Saigo because he's able just to auto attack him and stay out of just range of him. And the Galio support that you commented on right at the end of the draft, I think is a very fun and spicy pick that also gives a lot more global presence to him as well. So Purdue going to be having a lot of global presence on that pick. And as we're now here in the mid lane, you said it yourself. You really wish that the Meow did not pick Ziggs blind, because that Silas can bully them out of this lane pretty heavily and pretty annoyingly. So when Silas starts getting a little bit of that AP, a little bit of that health as well, assuming this is not a Rod of Ages Silas, because Rod of Ages seems to be the meta in the mid lane right now. So unless that's what we're seeing, I don't know how this matchup with Zed is going to go. At least in my experience, it's usually almost always gone Silas favored, so it could be that trendsetter. But with how comfortable Meow is on these AD champions, it's something that we'll have to keep looking for.
What I will say about the matchup is Meow Kato took Ignite and did not take Teleport. So they will have that very large advantage in this 1v1, which will be something that Silas has to watch out for, especially early on. The burst from the shadows, from the W ability from Zed, that extra range that he has, is what he's going to have to play for. And if Silas can find an Abscond Abduct onto Zed, get in range and get those quick trades like he's doing now, it's
like that.
But right now, there's the Ignite, there's the Conqueror proc, but the Volley Bear is here.
Oh my God, he got baited.
Play. He's flashed on Meow Kato. He should be able to find first blood, but the flash away might mean that he escapes for the moment, but the Storm Cloud will bring him down. Futaba is now on the other side to try and find himself the kill on the Gwen, but Steve is here inside of the mid lane as well. He's made the trip down. Everyone is here. It's a party, but it's a party only for Purdue because they're the ones that get the kills.
I saw the vision from Meow Kato. It's just they didn't have the damage. I honestly think if they had Electrocute and not Conquer, I think they'd kill the Silas there. But unluckily, the Volibear, just Eugene, just there at the right time. And then with the roam up from the Gwen as well, the roam up from the Gwen as well to try to save their mid laner, but it just not end up happening. It's 2 kills over to this Volibear, who should double scuttle this. Yep, goes ahead and double scuttle, so even more ahead of this jungle matchup. And this is going to be one terrifying Volibear. Oh, hello, we're not done.
They're looking for A's again, but they don't have any CC set
flashes.
up. There's literally nothing to set up here, and the Zed is going to fall, and Eugene's going to grab Feats of Warfare right here, right now for Purdue. The teleport's coming on in. Phantom has also made his way over here as well. The stun's going to connect onto 2. Purdue is running this entire game right now. So many mistakes being made from the Longhorns, and again, I have to just attribute this to the fact that there was just no real setup for them with a Gwen, a Zed, and an ASOL getting involved in this play, DBZ.
And there's a lot of setup on the side of Purdue. You have Silas who can root anyone down and trying to get their way to them. Volibear. And then you also have Galio and Uragot as well, which we haven't seen the Galio participate in any of these fights. He actually participated in one earlier. But we have not seen Galio participate in any of these team fights. So when these team fights start, and it looks like we're actually getting a hilarious little lane swap right now. I imagine that's because the TP was burned. And it is a better matchup, I would say, for Aurelion Sol to go into the Silas versus the Zed, so they make the smart call to go for that lane swap. we are staring at a 4-0 who had not cleared his whole jungle yet, mind you. I think just now did. We do have the respawns on the bottom side. That is going to be, I'm assuming a Proto Belt, what we're going to see coming out of Eugene. So I think we're going to get, it's the Proto Belt into the Quick Blades build, or Rod of Ages in the Quick Blades, but it could be either one, to be completely honest. So this is going to be a little terrifying to see what Eugene can do when he starts scaling into this game. Now, granted, since, I almost said Udyr, Lamau, so actually Volibear, once Volibear gets a little too close and a little too far forward, if they can get that shutdown, that is something that could add a little bit of momentum. But we're 6 minutes in. It's a 2,000 gold lead this early into the game, and Purdue is off to the races, just off rip.
They've had about the best start that they could possibly hope for right now. I think the build for Eugene is going to be Cosmic Drive to start things off. That's what I'm seeing a lot of these days with Volibear.
What
Timo's taking a pretty bad trade. Jinzo's Piercing Arrow is going to do a whole lot, and they have to be careful because Eugene's level 6. A level 6 Volibear at 6 minutes. This is just unfair. This is just what you get when he gets 4 kills. The tower is turned off. There's nowhere for Hilo to go. It's 7-0. DBZ, we got ourselves probably the closest game we'll get all day in game number 1. This one might just be done and dusted before it even begins. It is a 7-0 start here for Purdue's side as we get the replay of a solo kill that happened as well. Saigo is going to drop here in this exchange. Level 6 on the Silas. And, I mean, there's really nothing that's going the way of UT Austin.
Max range.
It's been an absolute disaster.
Oh, that was gross. The fact that was Max Range and ends up hitting, that was the solo kill that happened earlier in the matchup. And after that, the 2 kills in the bottom lane went over as well. One went to Volibear, and then, or actually one went to Galio, actually, and then one went to Varus as well. So now, with those 4 kills that that Eugene has, is now spreading that gold across the map, and I think that's exactly what you want. And this is going to be the Roa coming out for the Silas, having that Catalyst in their kit. So this is everything you want if you're Purdue right now. You're almost up 4,000 gold at just under 7 minutes. It's 3.5 right now, which is an insane gold lead to have in this early in the game. Now, if this was me, I'd be like, well, I think we're going next. So, I think there's still an avenue for UT Austin to come back, and I think the Longhorns have a lot of work ahead of them. They just need to scale into the game, but unfortunately, they're not going to have the chance to because they have these angles on the grubs.
Oh, no. Yeah, Futaba gets 2. He's just potentially going to drop this, have the skip and slash to get away from the abduct from A's, but Phantom and A's are now going to wait for Eugene to join the party. They force him off of that grub, and one Drake goes Purdue's way. One grub will go their way as well, so not even the tick towards the feat of monster slaying going to be secured for the Longhorns. They have a very uphill battle ahead of them. I don't even know what their saving grace is. I guess, yes, the scaling is good. Gwen can be fantastic. Kaisa will be fantastic. So will Aurelion Sol. But what I really want to see from Purdue is to shut down any hope of that from even coming to fruition. With the monstrous lead that you get, this is really one of a kind. You don't get this very often. I want to see aggression. I want to see clean plays, more tower dives with Volibear, and I want to see them put the Longhorns in the dirt as fast as possible and really show the world what they can do when they get a lead like this.
Definitely agree with you on that one. Right now, we're 8 minutes in the game. It is, again, still almost 4,000 gold. And I am very much on your side with this one. I think Eugene, every single time his ultimate is up, just be somewhere on the map and dive whoever. I think if this bottom lane can set up this Kaisa being Dove again, I think we just immediately go towards a play onto her, just put her further down even more, and just keep pushing that advantage. Make this team not allow themselves, or make this team not be able to scale into the game. Because right now, they're battered and bruised, I would say, at the first 8 minutes, 9 minutes of this game. We have tower plates falling here in the bottom lane. Do have the Gwen in the area, but I mean, not really much you're going to be able to do right now. She really needs like 1 or 2 items before she can be really strong. And right now she's standing on a ward. They should just go ahead and take this ward out right now, as Timo will walk over it, and they're going to go ahead and take that off the table. But the Kaisa has reset. They should shove this wave in and go ahead and reset. Now, funny enough, I said in the previous game what Varus builder we're getting, and in this game we're getting the lethalities Varus build, so we're getting the opposite, which makes sense. There's no front line, and here's Eugene, like I said.
3v3. I mean, look at this, level 8. on the volley bear, trying to force them all the way from those minions. As they're not denying it from the Kai'Sa, they're denying it from the Gwen, and Meow Kato gets the Longhorns on the board. UT Austin finds himself a kill up there as Saigo forced to flash away from the hijack Starfall. And he's not having a good time in this mid lane either. They've tried out both iterations of the lane. I guess it's better for the Zed. Not so good for the A-Soul, as the Rel is just going to fall. They're going to turn off the tower. They're going to use the heroic entrance as well. So much CC onto the members of UT Austin. They've got nothing left for themselves. Futaba is able to survive, but 2 more go the way of Purdue. This bot jungle trio has been fantastic this game.
Yeah, absolutely. They're playing so well in this game. We did see the solo kill on the top side, which I think is a good start. They're going to go ahead and lane swap once again. But man, Purdue is just absolutely going crazy, and there's the Rod of Ages that we see right now that is currently in the inventory of this silo. It's going to be very hard to burst out, and that's pretty much what their comp is designed to do with the Aurelion Soul, especially with the Zed. The Zed's going to be looking to one-shot, and if you mitigate that, you're not going to be able to get that one-shot potential that we know Zed can do. We've all been on the receiving end of a Zed one-shotting us in our solo queue games, and I think that with that adaptation of adding health and adding those little bit of resistance to your build, that you're not allowing them to have that agency that Meow Kato is really good at on those AD assassins. So mitigating all of that means that puts Meow in this harder position to be able to do that. And as we're getting a path here towards the top side, I do believe the next grubs are coming up soon. They actually are. Phantom is really in the process, or Fan, is currently in the process. Oh no, that is right. It is Phantom. The M was weirdly cut off. So Phantom will be getting some topside vision up here. Thank you for that toggle once again. As you see, it's completely dark on that side of the map. So when these grubs spawn, there's going to be no really avenue for them to walk into this. Gwen needs to farm and at least finish at least another component of an item before she's able to really get that avenue. And there is a potential cheeky play getting ready to happen here on this bot side, but it does not look like it, so they'll just go ahead and back off.
Futaba has to be careful. Plays are being made inside of their own jungle, as Eugene was once bot side, now here on the top side of the map, but they're going to call off this play. I think it's very smart. A couple members from UT Austin making their way over to make sure that play isn't as easy as they hope. As I want to remind everyone of the stakes of this game. Again, this is the Battle of the Bubble. If you're just joining us, we have college teams from all over, as I will hold that thought as we do see Jinzo falling down. The CC has been acquired, and he's got to run out of gas here. He's waiting for some A good job. Line from Phantom. One more piercing arrow was able to be shot out, but this might just be a double kill for the guys. But now the Justice Punch is going to go down and get the kill for him. So Portal Combat is going to continue. And it's Teemo in hot pursuit here. Phantasm playing the bush, lands the Justice auto attack, gets the shield. The crash down shielding will save him. This is about as good of a 1 versus 1 between 2 supports as you're ever going to get, as A's and Eugene cross map from the Grubs, joins the party. A's uses the flash. Phantasm with the Justice Punch, able to dodge away for one little bit, but he is not able to survive. But the rest of the squad will bring him down, and it is going to be Purdue who end up getting more kills across the entirety of the play.
The fact that that play lasted so long that Eugene was able to get the grubs and then rotate down for this play is definitely a testament to how far ahead that Purdue is right now. There goes the first tower as well up there on the top side, so that will be the feats of strength secured rather for the side of Purdue with that first tower falling. The Cloud Drake has gone over as well. We never did our Drake prediction, but it's going to be the Mountain Soul coming on for this side of the map, and Eugene's doing a thing again.
So low. Oh, the Shadows. What? I think the smite brought him down from Eugene. Kill number 13 at 13 for the side of Purdue. And they continue to up the ante in this game. Now 6,000 gold, and rotating their bot lane over to the mid side of the map because they did knock down that bot lane tier 1. As Teemo, trying to get some vision down, is going to find themselves Phantom rather, and well, not going to be a whole lot. So again, Sport's not doing a whole lot of damage, but more plays being made. Eugene's been all over the map, has 9 out of 13 KP. Things looking good for Purdue's side, and you know, they had the lead. We wanted to see more aggression from them, DBZ, and I think we've definitely seen that. For better or for worse, they did lose a 2v2 elsewhere on the bot side, but still keeping that high-octane gameplay and trying to make sure that the Longhorns don't really have a chance at getting to maybe a spot they want to be at come 30-35 minutes.
And we are 14 minutes into the game, and objective bounties are active. That is how far behind the Longhorns Gaming currently is right now. And they've just been kind of outplayed all over the map. I mean, that mid lane fight was really what started it. 3 kills over to the Volley Bear, and he's like, all right, I'll just take this, and okay, we are getting a little cheeky there. The Zed was in the area, so might have hilariously been able to outplay that. I think the goes up, so maybe could have done something. And Steve is walking forward right now.
He doesn't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Saigo has Sky's Descent, but there's not a lot of damage. Again, Rod of Ages, Blasting Wand available for the Aurelion Soul is not going to be cutting through a Black Cleaver Urgot very quickly at this current stage, as Teemo once again looking for vision, is caught out, Chains of Corruption go down, and now all of the damage is going to flood onto him. And well, Hilo is just not really in a position to be dealing enough damage to save his support, as now Kato could be in some trouble as well. There's the hijack Deathmark. A Deathmark of his own is going to be utilized. The pop is not quite going to be enough, but we can see Aze is loving his life in this 1 versus 1. And the Zed is not going to be able to find what he wants, which is that solo kill as well. Futaba's been caught out. Here comes the Sky's Descent. We got a heroic entrance that's going to be canceled. The Galio out of position 1 back to the Longhorns at least. Flashing forward is Eugene though. Hilo is going to be in some trouble. There goes the Stormbringer. This bear is everywhere, and he is dropping the Longhorns members like flies. Eugene gets his 7.
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of a bar. This bear is everywhere, because you are absolutely correct. If Eugene is on your screen, you're probably dead.
Hey, you got bars too, DBZ. Damn. Eugene on your screen, I like that. As well, okay, Saigo's going to look for Steve, who does actually get the tower.
Oh my god.
The flash flashes forward. The Fear Beyond Death is going to be aimed by Futaba, and he's actually not going to be executed. Yes, he will in the end. He gets the Fear. He has a sliver of HP left, gets a Triumph Proc, who gets hit by the Shattering Strike, and will go down 1 for 1 plus the tower, and the kill goes to the support. I don't think the Urgot is too disappointed about what actually went down.
Now the top tower going down, you get the extra kill off that as well. Hashtag worth, so you know what? We take those. And it's just one of those things where the moment that Purdue sees an angle is, we're not done. I do know that they are in danger. I should just walk out of this. So not too much should come out of that, and they will go ahead and escape with their lives. Phantom being cheeky, checking every bush that they can. Now they know that they are not there. You will not get the ASOL dinner for yourself on this one. All right. So I am staring right now at a 7-0 Volley Bear. That is what I am seeing on my screen. We have Rift Herald up, but I don't really anticipate much of a contest to come out of that. Now, if they do, then I think that's really risky. I think if they even get a pick off here if Purdue gets a pick off here, I think, you know, they're like, all right, that's the SAR, so we just go ahead and get Rift Herald. So I think they're going to go ahead, try to shove in some of these waves as we're panning the bot lane right now. A's, like you were mentioning, fairly comfortable on this pick right now, building lots of health items, just avoiding that that one-shot potential. And the Rift Herald is spawning currently on the other side of the map. Drake is also spawning in the next 48 seconds. I don't know really like how the Longhorns get back into this game. It's going to be very, very hard. I think if this Kaisa is left alone, then maybe something can happen, but it's just going to be so difficult for them as we're passing down towards this bottom side, but maybe we got something.
We got ourselves a potential flank. We have Eugene and Phantom in the front line. Phantom is going to be the one to go down. Now Kato's found some alone time in the back line with Jinzo.
Oh, we missed.
Chains of Corruption goes wide, the flash away from the Shuriken, and the Bears will stay alive for a little bit longer. Some shields trying to keep the Bear alive. He's going to take down the
god.
The killer instinct from Hilo is not going to be enough to finish Eugene. And
oh
now
my.
The back line is running to shreds here for the side of Utiasu, but they're fighting back right now. Hilo's able to take down the Bears. Now in pursuit is Steve, finds the Fear Beyond Death, and knows Hilo is somewhere in his own jungle. Eugene has healed himself up as well. They should be able to find him waiting inside of the wolf pit as... Wait a second.
Did he flash? Oh, he flashed.
Okay. Oh, he still had flash. All right, he's able to walk on out. And honestly, DBZ, if you are this far behind, if you are the Longhorns, UT Austin is going to be pretty happy with how that actually ended up panning out. But the problem is, they just couldn't quite secure that 1K bounty.
I'm definitely there with you. I think it's really funny that Riot Games was like, Eugene's on a rampage. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. That should be legendary right now. But they got the shutdown on the Silas and the Ferris as well. I think you'll take that. if you are the Longhorns. Now, unfortunately, it's 18 minutes and it's Mountain Soul Point, so that's the downside. They've lost every single neutral objective except for the 2 grips that they got earlier, but they've pretty much not been able to do anything on the map. They've not gotten either of or rather any of the outer towers. They haven't really been able to push lanes because the moment that there is a Volibear on your screen, you just die. So they have to be careful of that, but he's just pretty much everywhere. This is mostly the hilarious I don't want to say full AP, but a lot of AP coming into this build as the mid tier 2 is falling. All right, where are we taking this? Where are we taking this, Eugene? Where are we going?
He's going towards all right. Well, driver's license revoked. You had your test, you have your only shot right there, and well, you ran into the walls, but I think Eugene's going to be okay with having that license revoked because he's 8-0 on a Volibear, and you can't tell him anything else. 14 stacks on the Medjai's. Deadman's Plate completed, plus a Spectre's Cal. Bro just spent his entire life savings there at the shopkeeper there, who's now a whole lot more richer because, yeah, I said that, a whole lot more richer is the shopkeeper because Eugene is spending all that cash that he's gotten.
Look at that gold lead.
For the Toggle Observers, 10,000 gold. The most by far in this entire game. And now is the tricky part where tier 2s are going down, side lanes are going to have to be played for Purdue to grab some of that standing gold, continue to put on the pressure onto UT Austin. But they also have the Otacon to think about. The Soul is coming up, so do they hold back and play for that Soul in 3.5 minutes time? Just take a chill pill, make sure they don't throw until then? Or do they keep laying on the pressure? I think if I had to take a guess here, DBZ, I would say just take a chill pill for the next little bit. You know, you can make a couple plays, push out your waves, but make sure you're as strong as possible in 3 minutes time for when this Soul goes up. And if you do end up winning a fight, you might have an Otacon on top of that, and then you're really set up for success.
Definitely agree with you on that one, as Phantom might catch up to you here. No, it's gonna be a little annoying, get that shield off, and like, oh, goodbye. This Phantom is, okay, there was a moment where something could have happened there if that Shattering Strike did land, but it did not. And once again, you don't know where Eugene is right now, so you gotta be really careful, because if anyone falls, I think a pick would be fine for Purdue in this instance. They look like that they want to posture towards something. Never mind, they're gonna go for it.
They're looking for Teemo. Crashdown is going to bring them to safety. They're clearing out the vision. Teleport in from Steve. It looks like they just want to start this Otacon now. They want to force a fight right here, and we've seen how dangerous this can be. Even when you are far ahead, the Otacon can bring down your resistances and make you lose the fight, but we're going to see it start off right now. The target is going to be Teemo. Going to be locked up by so much. CC is going to be brought in by the Fear Beyond Death, and that's +1. That's going to go over to Purdue. The other side of the fight is looking very good. Eugene's in a 1 versus 2 on the left side. 4 people still alive for the Longhorns. Futaba, though, is going to be locked up. He's not long for this world. This bear is unhinged. He has all that he needs to annihilate everyone that is in his
Stop it.
He just does not care who you are. He's going to chomp you to bits. The next is going to be the Kaisa. Meowkato is the only one left for the Longhorn side, and they rocked the fight. They knew that they wanted to take it now, and they find exactly what they came for.
Oh man, Longhorns, that's just a wallet dip. They started the Otacon, I think, to force the issue. The Drake is still a minute and a half away, so I think the game plan was, hey, let's make them come to us, and that is exactly what they did. It ended up being, I believe, a 3-for-1 at the end of that whole play. The Silas ended up going down. This is the Ruinous one, so it is the Flowers. I do honestly think that the Longhorns could have just given it up and not gone for a fight. I think they got baited into it anyways, as Teemo might die here.
What is Teemo doing? What is the play here? I don't understand what this was meant to accomplish. There is a flash, although I don't know if it's worth using, and it's not going to be used. And
okay.
Eugene's going to get his 11th. He's at 25 stacks, DBZ. 25 stacks Medjai's is not something you see in competitive very often, but when you do, it's a champion like, you know, your LeBlancs, or maybe sometimes your Aries. Your Volibears is not one that's typically on that list.
No. I thought I would have something like cohesive to say about that, but this answer is just no. You would never see 25 Medjai stacks on a Volibear unless he was super turboed into the game, and that's exactly what happened with Eugene. Starting off 3-0, now 11-0, up 70 CS on this as well, and just been pretty much like the playmaker of this game. And you said it yourself. Homie could carry on champions he shouldn't even be able to carry on, and I would argue, yes, you can carry on Udyr, or not Udyr. I keep saying Udyr for whatever reason because it's like locked in my head, but I meant Volibear. They're both bears in their own way, but we're gonna get fight.
Potentially, as well, this is the time that the Longhorns have to just go for broke. You have no other option. If you give the Mountain Soul over while you're already down 8,000 gold, it's going to be a hard time as Jinso's singled out. Has to use the flash move. Talbot's going to go underneath the tower, but he's going to get hit by the Chains of Corruption. And that means he's probably going down.
Oh my god.
Going to be utilized. The fight's going to break out now. Heroic Entrance is going to be utilized. Phantom is joining the party. And everyone charging forward here for Purdue. They have won the fight. They've got 2 kills. Eugene wants some more. He's found the stun right here onto Saigo, who does use the Sky's Descend, but it will only delay the inevitable. Now the turrets are under siege. They might not just care about the soul. They might just look for the end.
They have grubs. There's no shot they end this game, right? Oh my god, they actually might end this game. If they use the cannon, it's okay, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
I think it's just over. Timo is going to jump on in, is going to try and keep the tower alive. It's going down very low because there's no minions left, but everyone is dropping. 25 minutes. Purdue have absolutely put UT Austin down for good. That was a slaughter.
That was, yeah, that was an absolute slaughter from start to finish. I mean, it was 3-0, and all 3 kills went on to the Bear. And then once that gold lead just kind of sat with the Bear, he's like, I'm level 6 now. I'm going to go all over the map and just make everyone's life a living nightmare. And that is exactly what happened there. He just kind of walked all over UT Austin. There's really not much to say about that. Is once that snowball started rolling, it was pretty much an immovable object. It just kept on rolling, and they just absolutely like waffle stomped UT Austin. So they got their first win, and that's what they wanted. They wanted their first win out of that. And I gotta say, Eugene would be my MVP of that game, because that was insane coming out of them in 25 stacks Magi's. So you know, there's that too.
I will say it's not a good look for UT Austin. They did take the loss there to USF, who I would say is probably our best team here in the Battle of the Bubble. So that was to be expected. But against a champion from a partner conference in Purdue, a little bit more was probably expected from these guys. And unfortunately, they just did not deliver in this game. We had questions about the composition going into this. We're playing Gwen jungle with an Aurelion Soul top and a Zed mid. There's hardly any CC. There's hardly any gank setup. And we saw that early on. The reason why Eugene got so fed is because plays were attempted early by the side of the Longhorns, and they just didn't have anything to work with to get them any kills. And downhill from there, they don't have any sort of synergies with what they've drafted to be able to find a team fight even when they are so far behind. And well, now they drop to Purdue. They're definitely not going to be happy about how this has gone for them so far, but they will have at least one more, maybe a couple more to bring it back, and we'll see if they can actually end up doing that. But for us now, before we head into game number 3, our third game of the day and the last one here for DBZ and I, we'll cut to a short break, and we'll be back very soon with the continuation of the Battle of the Bubble.